Hello everyone, xHedra here, bringing you a Let's Play of Forever Stranded, a mod pack by Gaming with Sheridan. Let's get started with the quests. Basic survival, gathering supplies. Well, I have done it again, crashed into another planet. Best go get the emergency supplies from the back of the shuttle. Need to collect some water, oak sapling, and bone meal. Let's go to the back of the shuttle right now and get those. So guys, this is going to be a hardcore playthrough. I've played this mod pack mostly in a previous version under easy mode, where it's still easy, but I died a lot. I'm claiming the quest. I'm going to open the loot chest, but since I want this series to be something that anyone can reproduce and get the best tips and tricks, I'm not going to be using it, even though this one's pretty troll. It's not going to give me much. Some of them are very powerful and could give you a very different beginning. Imagine an iron bucket to begin with, or armor. So let's start quickly. Second quest is more tables. I must improve my basic tools to speed things up. The desert heat is making things horrible to work in. And they're right. In this mod pack, time is really precious. You have to make sure that you're not wasting any time. And to do all of the tinker tools and the setup that I want to begin with, I'm going to need 11 logs. And I also want to get a worm, because to control our start, we're going to need to be able to control day and night cycle. And that's very important because the mobs are persistent. In this mod pack, we have Husk, and Husk do not burn up during the day, so it's important to be able to sleep through the night. So I'm going to create 4 crooks here, and I'm going to turn them immediately into a compressed crook because it's going to go much faster taking care of the trees. And like I said, time is of the essence. And the quest that we're looking toward, more tables, wants you to create all of the tools, well, the tinker items, so that you can create the tool, because you need to have a fast start, and being able to go through trees easily and gathering sand easily, it's very important. Now, I've seen a lot of comment about this mod pack on how hard it is, and it is kind of hard unless you know what you're doing. And for that, you need to understand the basic understanding of temperature control and following the quest. Gaming with Sheridan, the mod pack creator, made a beautiful starting quest line that really gets you through everything you need to survive ASAP. And once you've got the basic of survival down, things are going to be much easier, and you're going to be able to slow down and do things at a pace that you prefer. But in the beginning, it's really do or die. So I already have my worm. I don't have my woods though, my 11 logs, so I'm going to continue until I have my 11 logs. And once I have my 11 log, I'm going to get started on cactus gathering, because this tree is going to be infesting, and so I'm not going to be able to do anything at the moment. And we'll move a bit along. Oh my god, a big tree. Okay, so quick change. I'm going to take away this dirt, and I'm going to start again here because I really don't have the time to deal with a big tree right now. So let's continue with a new tree. Well, that was pretty troll of the mod pack giving us such a big tree. And you know, big tree is something that you like when you don't have a lot of sapling, but sapling in this mod pack are almost irrelevant. And the reason for that is cactus. Now, a lot of people don't seem to know that the important part of this mod pack are the cactus, because the cactus are going to serve as defense in the mode of a wall. They are going to also be used for tools as the head, since it's a replenishable material. They're going to be used to create water, and they're going to be used to create our dirt. And that's where most people seem to get stuck. So now that this is done, I'll go get 2 stacks of cactus to be able to get started on my wall, my dirt, my tools, everything that I'm going to need for this playthrough, the beginning of this playthrough. While I'm doing this, I'm going to start temperature info. So tough as nail, tan, temp info. You have to set that command every time you start your game. This is what explains to you the temperature and help you get through the pack, because if you don't understand temperature and you don't control it, you're not going to be able to survive this pack. I know that the quest starts you with a splash potion of heat resistance, but if you need to rely on that, you're going to die assuredly, because they only last through 1 day, and you're going to have the same problem repeating. So let me explain the HUD on the left that talks about the temperature. We'll ignore the equilibrium and the biome temperature, as these are always set to those values, and we'll talk more about time and season. So time is a debuff that you get depending on the hour of the day. Right now we're at +7, at midday it's +8, and at night it goes into the negative. So once it's up, your temperature is going up. But as you can see, we have the season debuff, which right now is at -6, which means the dead of winter. And that's important. We wouldn't be able to survive this mod pack in hardcore without winter to begin with, because then the temperature is going to go to season -4, then -2, then 0, then we're going to get into summer. And imagine with a highest temperature of +8 for the time and a +6 for summer, you're going to be overeating unless you have mechanism to take care of that. And that's going to come in the form of armor and cooling technology that the mod pack gets you to. But if you don't act fast enough, you won't get it in time, and then you'll just start dying of overeat, and you're going to die of overeat every day until you run out of life. Which, if you're not working in hardcore, is not a big deal. But like I said, I'm going to be doing this mod pack in hardcore. Let's turn hardcore. BQ admin for better quest administration, hardcore, and boom, I only have 2 lives now, so I can't afford to die for any reason. I'm going to continue gathering my my cactus and talk a bit more in detail about the dangers of this mod pack. Food. Food is also going to be a problem in this mod pack, because we have the diminishing return set in this pack, which means that as you eat food, you'll get less and less effect from the food unless you diversify your food source. And in the beginning, we only have apples. The only thing that's helping us start is that we can eat apple 5 times before we start having diminishing return affecting us. And it's going to be tight, but there usually is no problem getting to food if you follow the order of the quest line enough. So I'm almost done with my 2 stacks, and I'm going to be able to walk back to base and get started on my Tinker tools. And I'm going to show you a setup for Tinker tool that I absolutely love, because with this new version of Minecraft we have, and the new version of Tinker tools, you can set your Tinker tools so that everything's accessible from one tab, and it's really nice. So I'm going to show you my favorite setup. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to keep 1 wood. I'm going to convert all of the rest. I'm going to create 2 sets of pattern. It's not enough, but the quest is going to give us the patterns that we're missing, and that's all we really need to begin. I'm going to create 3 chests, because I like the setup to have the pattern chest like the quest request, and 2 chests inside of my base. I'm also going to create 2 crafting table, 1 for our tool station, and 1 because, again, I like having 1 inside of the base. And so now all that's left is creating the Tinker element, tool station, stencil table, and the crafting station. Sorry, this one's the derp. I created 2 stencil table. No problem. Let's create the part builder. I'll have enough stuff to be able to make 2. And I'll show you my setup. So I'll do this in the ship so that I have access to it at night. So I'm going to go chest, the crafting station that can access the chest. Then I'm going to put the tool station, the part builder, that's what I forgot to create. I forgot to create the pattern chest. So let me create that quickly, which now completes the quest. If I go to the quest and I go to survival, the quest is now completed, which gives me 4 more blank pattern. So I'll put that in the stencil table. I can put the 7 stencil left, and look at this, guys. At the top, I have all of my Tinker elements, and to easily do the pattern, I select the pattern that I want, and I shift click, and it goes directly in the chest. Creates one and goes in the chest. These are my 3 tools. I'll make a weapon, I'll make the rod, I'll make the binding, and I'll make the cross guard, which you see I would have had 1 pattern more if I didn't derp and create 2 stencil table, but it's not a problem. Out of wood, I'll create the 4 rods that I need, the binding, the 3 bindings, and the cross guard. And then I'll switch over to cactus. And that's what I was telling you guys. Since these are going to be the tool head, we're going to have infinite repair material. So these tools are going to get us through most of the beginning of the game, and they're free, so why not enjoy them? Let me create my tools now. Cactus, pickaxe, shovel, axe, and my sword. And with all of my tools created, now I'm able to move on to the next quest. The next quest is the very basics. Now that I have my supplies, time to get wood and more sapling. If I hammer this sand in the desert, I get dust. It may come of use. So here, oh, sorry, I forgot about creating my bed. It's going to turn night. I need my strings and I need my bed. And if you look at the left, at the HUD again, where the time is -2, that's around the time where mobs starts appearing. So let's not take chance. Let's go inside of my base, of my ship, and let's create my bed. 1, 2, 3 wool and 3 wood, and I'm going to have my bed, and I'm going to be able to sleep. See, mobs are starting to spawn, but they're far enough from the ship that I can just go to bed, no problem. Husk will be left, so I'll get a chance to show you a husk, and if we're lucky, we'll even get some loot that's going to help us start. So let's go outside. I'm just going to look around, and here's a husk. Be very careful and time your swing, because you don't do a lot of damage, and every swing costs hunger. So this one's taken care of. Oh, this one was easy, was already dying. There's husk over there. I'm going to go for this spider because I want to try to get spider eyes as often as I can, because we're going to need them for spider eye soup. So let me get that, and at the same time get the bones from back here, because the bones are going to be useful for a quest later on. Now I have to control the map because I only have 4 heart and I can easily die. So I have to be very careful to manage the fight and always look at the mini-map to make sure that I'm not getting surrounded by any enemies. And the beauty of that sword is that when you do a good swing, you hit the other enemy for a little bit if they're close by. So I've got them all. Now I need to continue with the quest because, like I said, we don't have a lot of time. We need to get to as much dirt as possible so that we can start sifting dirt to get cobblestone. We'll get pebbles that will then turn into cobblestone. And this is what we're going to use to create our first furnace, which is really, really important. Let me get that crook, and I'll finish taking down that tree, and I'll plant the next one, and I'll move on to the next quest. With the better questing system, it only detects the things that you craft when the task is active. So you saw that I've created crooks before, but it had not detected it. It only detects it now that the quest is active. I'm going to create the hammer, and I'm going to create the sieve like it asks us to. And I'm already going to make the mesh that needs to go in the sieve. To begin with, the silk mesh is good enough, but we'll get better mesh later on. Now I'm going to go collect 40 dust, because if you look, the quest did not complete. The second part of the quest is to get 40 dust. I'm going to get as much as the hammer let me get. And this is not the first time that I started this playthrough. I actually practiced it, and as you can see, I died fairly quickly. And so let me just go to the map and remove this. We don't need the markers as a constant reminder of my shameful death. I'm going to be collecting the dust, and then I'm going to be collecting about 3 stacks of sand to get started on my cactus wall. The cactus wall is very important because it's going to protect us from the mob, but more importantly, we're going to build the cactus wall on snad. And if you guys don't know what snad is, let me show you quickly. Snad is just putting 2 sand one top of another, and it makes cactus grow much faster. So as we harvest our cactus wall, it means that in the morning we harvest it, and by night our wall is complete again, protecting us from the mob. And it also has the advantage of damaging the mobs that are attacking the wall and coming at us. And I'll show you my favorite wall setup around the base. It's a small area, but for the hard beginning part of the game, it's perfect. And I will even show you like how I set up a little place to be able to kill mob. And the way I set up the kill mob section, you damage them against the cactus as you're hitting them. So now you can see at the bottom on my HUD, above my experience, that I have that little burning icon. It means that I'm starting to overeat. This is not worrying yet, as it will only become a problem when it starts dancing and moving around. And if you look back to the tempinfo HUD on the left, you can see the rate at which it goes up. Right now it's at about 700 of 1,000, and my eat will go up or down based on my target when that reaches 1,000. So when it's going to reach 1,000, you're going to see the dancing flame. Once you start seeing the dancing flame, it means that by the next time this goes up or down, you better be cooling down, or you're going to get the debuff that we were talking about, the one that kills you, the overheating. So I'm at 167 of 1,000. I'm going to have time to take that whole row and go into water, and then I'm going to explain to you the water debuff. The water debuff is going to be what you use in the beginning to keep cool. So, and although I can use the water outside of the ship, even though it's a little bit cheaty, I use the water source inside of the ship that maybe shouldn't count as a water source, just because of how much of a better setup it is. But see, I'm already at 882. I don't have time to get there. Let me just get in water immediately so I survive. And see, immediately rate applied and my temperature went down. So managing that is super important. I'm just gonna let myself go down twice, and you see I'm wet, so it's a -7 on the target. But when you're wet, you also get -750 on the rate, which means that you cool down faster. If you were overeating, you'd be overeating faster, but that would only happen in summer at high noon, so it's not a very big worry. So I'm going to continue collecting my sand. I have my 2 stacks and a half, so I'm good. So this is where I like starting my wall. Okay, I start my wall from right here. I'm going to put a cactus right here, and let me create more snad and put one down, so I'll show you. Where's my snad? My snad's right here. I'm going to put a cactus on it, and I'm going to put a cactus on it so that you see that by the end of my wall creation, it's going to be all back. But then look, this is going to give us a nice little nook to get into and hit the mob from this corner. So you need to set cactus in a pattern. Let me go through creating the wall. I need to take that out, or this won't let me. This is going to actually prevent me from placing a cactus where I need to. And I'm going to keep some sand on me, because when you're building this, you inadvertently end up creating holes that you don't want. So I'm going to go deep enough so that I can put 2 rows of trees. So 1 more should be enough. And I like setting a guideline so that when you collect the wall, you hit the guideline and you don't waste time going too far. And you're going to see that it's really, that way it's really easy and it goes very well. Made a derp again. So the cactus we're going to use, like I said, as water and as dirt, and to create dirt, and it's going to go very well. Most people are used creating the dirt with the sapling, but that takes forever. The number of trees that you have to go through at 10 sapling each, and that's not realistic, not for a fast start and not on hardcore. So I'm gonna go till the front of the ship. Let me make sure I don't go too far. Perfect. So let's cut the corner around here. Oh, so my tool broke down. There's no point continuing the wall, and I'm at my guideline. So I'll show you. Oh, that wasn't good. I'll show you what I meant by quickly putting up the wall. I'm gonna fill these with snad, and when I get to the end of the row, I'll fill this row in no time, because you can only place 1 cactus every 2 tiles, and I have a snad every 2 tiles. So I'll just be able to strafe and fill in my wall super fast. So here you go. And you just start from the beginning first, and then you just go on like this, strafing to the left or right, till you hit your guide wall, which is why I put it there, because then it's going to prevent me from putting a cactus and let me know that I've reached the end. then I go in my second row and I just come back. So imagine every morning, first thing you do when you get out of your ship, you collect your whole wall and you replant it immediately, and that should about give you 2 stacks of cactus every time. And with 2 stacks of cactus, that's 12 dirt. You're more than okay enough to be able to create all of the dirt that you need. And that is the biggest trick in this game, because once you get enough cobble, you'll be able to get started with your furnace, and from your furnace you'll be able to get started with your lava, and you're set with the game. So I'm going to go inside, repair my tool, and can come right back. I really need to finish that wall on the first day. I'm going to get the cactus back from here. I'm going to keep some in here to always be able to repair my tool, and I'm going to go finish my wall now. And I want the wall finished as fast as possible so that I can start creating dirt as fast as possible, but also because of blood moons. In this game, there's the blood moon mod, and what that does is you cannot sleep through the night, and mob spawn in lower light level. So if you get one of those on the first or second night, let's be honest, you're pretty much dead. And as I say that, I get a blood moon. So this is going to be a very interesting start, and because of that, I'm just going to finish putting my snad down so that I'm able to at least start getting my wall done. And I'm going to try to do this playthrough, but that's where I'm going to end my first episode, and I'm going to use the night to sift through all of the dust that I have, which is a good thing because it means I'm going to have resource faster than I was expecting them, but I don't know how it's going to affect my food situation. So like I said, I'm going to be sifting through the night in my ship, and I'm going to start recording again on the next day, so you'll see how I try to get out of the ship and if I survive or not. And if I don't survive, I guess that's going to be the shortest first episode of a playthrough that you've ever watched on YouTube. And I'm going to be starting my second playthrough. And you see already mobs are spawning, so I'm inside. I'm going to show you where I'm going to set up for the sieving. I'm going to come right here. This right here, even though it looks like lava, look, I'm in it, it's water. So that's what I meant by a cheaty place to set up. So I'm going to set up my sieve right here, and I'm going to go through this whole stack of dust, and since I'm stuck in here, I might even turn all of this sand into dust. And that's really important because it's going to give us the iron that we need to be able to get shears. And since, well, before I end the episode, because it's a bit shorter than I wished, I'm going to show you the quest. So I can collect this one, and this is a free quest that they give you to get more splash potion of overeating, which I'm not going to need, so I'm going to store here, and might as well store those things that I don't need. So here's where the quest line is trying to bring you. From here, it's trying to get you to create dirt by using a oak barrel, and it's showing you how to make dirty water bottle. And to be fair, unless clean water is disabled in this pack, dirty water bottle are useless because you're going to be able to make clean water directly. And into that, you're going to get to infested leaves. And the infested leaves are going to give you material, ice cubes, to build the special slime ingots that will let you build some heat protection armor. And this is where you need to get before day 4. And when you get to that, you're golden. But you still need the shear here, so you still need to be able to create the dirt. And I don't know if I have enough. Let me check how much. Yeah. So I'll just start one to show you what I mean. I need 4 of those, but I'll just create one right now so I can show you. You put it like this, and it takes 10 cactus. I'm out. Oh no, I still have some on my table here. Let me take those. And I fill this up, and with my wall, I'll be able to create plenty of dirt. So I'm going to put all of this away, and these are coarse dirt. So that's why my trees outside don't grow so fast, because the coarse dirt, it's not that good for the trees. I'm going to put all this away, and like I said, let me check here. I'm going to create another hammer. I would create 2, but I only have enough wood for 1. And now I'm going to end the episode, and like I said, through the night, I'm going to only be creating sand and sifting the dust. And I'm going to try and record that and include it as a fast forward, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. So if it's part of the episode, you'll see it. If not, it means I didn't figure out how to do it. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.